Okay, this is the video on getting power to the coil. So the yellow-green is that green marker, and that comes over here, and it goes directly to that relay. But it also puts power to the fuse for the fuel pump. That power also goes, before it goes to the fuse, it also goes to the injectors. So the computer provides ground to fire the injectors. Then, after it comes out of the fuel pump, it does come over to the fuel pump, that wire. I don't have it marked, but it's that wire there. It's blue-gray, or I'm sorry, orange-gray over to the fuel pump. So it does go through that fuse. Now, you're looking at that relay, what actually fires the coil of the relay, the orange wire is the switched hot from the handlebars. And that's a black, white with a black tracer. The other, the ground would be the green with an orange tracer, and that's that pink wire that comes off of the computer. Now, the only thing on the computer I can see that would allow that to go to ground, when you look down all these computer points, is the crank position sensor. So if you do have a bad crank position sensor and it doesn't see it moving, it probably will not pull that relay in. That's why if there's a crash in your engine, if there's a crash, it shuts your engine off, which would shut that relay off, which would shut the fuel pump and the ignition off. So I looked down and I didn't see any crash sensor like they have, some of them have, where they go onto their side, but it could be built straight into the computer, so you wouldn't see a physical module for it. But that's what that does. So if you want to fire that relay outside of the computer, what you need to do is on that pink wire, which is the green orange, or it's the number 85 on that relay, you could ground that. You turn your power onto your system, you ground that green-orange wire, that'll fire your coil, and that should put 12 volts over to the ignition, over to the coil. The other way to do it is you jumper the blue with a gray to the yellow-green, and that's going to put power on it all the time. And the blue-gray is hot all the time. That's that yellow wire that comes straight off the switch. It's 12 volts hot all the time, and that goes on to that blue-gray, which is terminal 30 on the relay. So if you jump terminal 30 to terminal 87, that should bring on the fuel pump, and that should also bring on the power at the ignition. Now, I know you said you had continuity, that whole wire, so it's possible that either these prints are wrong or that you're going to have to open the harness. But before I'd open the harness, I jumped them out, put power to it, and see that you got power over at the coil and start the bike. If you're not getting that relay to come on, and you need to be checking with a voltmeter right at the relay, if you're not getting that to come on, it most likely is a bad crank position sensor. I haven't seen or heard of too many bad computers. So that's my take on this.